if you on the edge or on the rail of a boat dancing, 9 times out of 10 you probably fall in that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But she didn't know how to swim,
Cause I'm
so
like,
it's
if
unfortunate.
this
I
is the
just
way the situation it was
it's
said,
crazy.
like, but going back to like friends, it's like I can put my life in your hands before I can put my life in certain or some people's hands. And even though I grew up with them, and we only been married like almost 5 years, but I
Right.
can have that much trust in you, not because uh sound like some niggas will say you pussy will no, not that or nah, or I'm just devoted to you like that. Nah, I know who you are.
Right. But some people don't recognize the
Yeah,
flaws in their friends.
yeah, I know who you are.
Sweep it up like a broom, the elephants in the room. Feeling like MJ, I walk it out on the moon. These boys faster than Zoom, I'm floating like a balloon. I'm from the womb to the tomb, I'm repping the green room. Yeah.
What up, what up, what up, world? Welcome to the Green Room with Gippy Lee, and I'm your host who does the most. Gipp Star, aka Gippy, aka Mojo, aka Cocky Billboard, aka you can call me whatever you want, but just don't call me Collect.
And I'm your co-host who doesn't do the most, Glow the Hottie, CEO of Goddess Body.
Man,
What's
what's up?
up?
What's up, man?
What's
You
up,
got that shit
baby?
right on point, huh?
Yes, I'm learning.
Yes, indeed, man.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. For real, man. You look so beautiful today. How your day was?
Thank you. My day was great. I started off by going to church this morning, so it's
Praise
always an
God.
amazing day.
Praise God.
On Sundays, I love to go to church Sunday mornings, as you know.
And the funeral that we attended with me, you, and my mother.
Yes, that it
Uh,
was a nice
I want to
funeral
say
today.
condolences to my family. My aunt passed away. Diane Kohler. You're always gonna be in my heart. Um, the funerals. The service was nice.
It was beautiful.
The service was beautiful. It was like everybody knew she was going to heaven and all that. It wasn't like all that drama and shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Very
like,
peaceful, very nice.
people not breaking down. You know, and that's kind of crazy though. It's crazy, like it seems like everybody gets together when somebody die.
Yes, it's unfortunate. These days there are no more family reunions. Like I rarely hear, but growing up, I used to always say, "Oh, I'm going to a family reunion. We getting our shirts made, things like that." I think that tradition is kind of moving away, but I wish it would come back. Like I
Yeah,
do want to start that back up in my family
it's
as
like,
well.
and another thing, cause I had went to a memorial and a repast yesterday prior to my auntie funeral. My partner Logan, and
Rest in
condolences to his family,
condolences.
the Dawson family. Rest in heaven, Logan. They had everybody had shirts, but nobody didn't have no shirts for my auntie and shit. We did the colors, like the yellow.
Right.
You
It's
know,
different ways of,
di-
doing how you want to send someone off,
right,
different
right.
ways.
Yes. Before we do anything, y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel, Gippstar ENT, GIPPSTARENT. You know what I'm saying? Episode 16.
Yes,
Episode 16. And plus, me and your fourth episode.
my fourth, technically fifth, but our fourth.
Yeah, basically, yeah, yeah. Episode 16 is sponsored by God is Body. Ladies, go get your shapers, go get your waist trainers, go get your fry highs. Located in the Oakwood Shopping Mall. I'm gonna say it once, I'm gonna say it twice, I'm gonna keep saying this shit, you know what I'm saying? Ladies, if you got curves and you hot, God is
Goddess body
Body is
is
the
the spot.
spot. God is Body is the spot, baby.
Yes,
If you got curves and
definitely
you hot,
do.
that's why you glow the hottie. CEO of God is Body.
That's
Yeah,
right.
curves and you hot. Real shit. Wardrobe provided by Tommy Hilfiger. Go get your garment and accessories located at any Tommy Hilfiger outlet located in the country, better yet the world. So tell me how your day is going on.
My day went good. Today we're gonna talk about what? What about your friends?
Friends.
Will they let you down? Will they stand their ground?
And my friends of it, and my version of it. Friends.
How
How many
many
of
of
us
us
have
have
them?
them?
You know, because I was on one like a couple of weeks ago. I was on the phone with my partner. You know, and shout out to my partner. You know what I'm saying? You know, no hard feelings, none of that. You know, he know who he is. But like
Right. I don't say names. I don't say
young,
names.
I'd rather for him to call me on some, positive shit on what he doing good,
Right.
not on the negative shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't like who you hanging with and all that. Man, look here. Sometimes if you have issues with that person and they don't want to communicate with you how you feel about it, fuck them. Straight up, fuck them. That just like if I have issues with a dude and we can't communicate together, fuck you, nigga. I don't care. I got glue. I don't need your friendship.
Right. But
I
I
don't need
do
your love
think
either.
as well, you always have me, but I do think certain things could be worked out in a friendship, and then I think certain things cannot be worked out in a friendship, but you have to use your best judgment. Now if it's just a communication issue,
Right.
yes, that could be worked out. But as far as people doing things that jeopardize your life and things that you're blindly being put into, then yes, you shouldn't.
Well, we
You
already
know,
know
you should cut that
we
person
can't go
off.
back to that. We can't go back to being friends if it comes to a life detrimental situation.
Right, but
But
often small things come before that one big old, you know, hoorah blowout.
it takes the small things to make it bigger.
Right, but
And,
you gotta watch the signs in the beginning.
you know, it's like
Just like that girl who went on that trip to Mexico and her
right.
friends set up and she ain't never came back.
But that's what you think. You think the friends set
Oh,
up?
the friends beat her to death. They have a warrant out for one of the friends' arrest. I'm talking about the first one, the Mexico, not the recent one, but I have my own theory on that too. The girl on the boat,
Okay,
the
the
Jenkins
chick
friend.
out of Chicago.
Right. Yes.
You think that was the
Yes.
setup?
Well, yes. And my question would be, are them the same friends that was in that hotel when the Jenkins girl got killed? Were they the same friends on that boat? But they didn't mention what set of friends was on the boat. So I don't know, but it's unfortunate that you go on a trip with your friends and all the friends don't make it back. I always think, you know, we should always be looking out for each other.
Right.
Somebody should have had the common sense to be, girl, don't dance on the end of the boat. You know how to swim. What if you fall in? You need
True.
a life jacket. Somebody should have been the verse of reason to point that out before she went overboard.
Well, that was two certain situations though, because like when she went in the freezer, nobody can find her, but people witnessed her went in the water.
Right.
You know.
And they did say they throw floats to her
So
to try
yeah,
to right, but I'm thinking you on a yacht, a rented yacht, okay? They shouldn't even allow y'all on there without life jackets. Especially y'all drinking, y'all dancing, doing it's just all kinds of things.
life
I think
jackets. They didn't have no life jackets.
they didn't have no life jackets on. And I think anybody who goes in water should have life jackets on.
But now in these days, like if you go on yachts and shit like that, they ain't gonna have no lifeguard. But what made her tilt to go over the water?
She was dancing, they say.
What the fuck she was doing? The A-Town stomp?
I don't know, popping, shaking,
Nah, just
twerking.
if you popping on your head, what you was popping on the edge or something?
Well, on the edge of the yacht. You know how they
That
got, on a yacht, they
basically,
have that perny pernt
well, basically,
in the front.
yeah, basically she had to
Most people
be.
take pictures there
It was
now
no
when they go
like
into
no. I'm just
hotels.
saying like on it can be on the starboard port or the port side. If you on the edge or on the rail of a boat dancing, 9 times out of 10 you probably fall in that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But she didn't know how to swim,
Cause I'm
so
like,
it's
it
unfortunate.
this is the way the situation it was
It's
said.
crazy.
Like, but going back to like friends. It's like I can put my life in your hands before I can put my life in certain or some people's hands. And even though I grew up with them, and we only been married like almost 5 years, but I
Right.
can have that much trust in you, not because uh sound like some niggas will say you pussy will no, not that or nah, or I'm just devoted to you like that. Nah, I know who you are.
Right. But some people don't recognize the
Yeah,
flaws in their friends
yeah, I know who you are.
or so-called friends. Because I have a story to tell.
Yeah, cause like certain friends when they do some fucked up shit, we don't know who they are no more because we
Right.
don't expect them to do that shit, man. We know you. I know you,
Yes.
man. I ain't expect you to do some fuck shit like that.
Right. Right. But that's how I usually end up. 98% of crimes committed against a person, such as, like major crimes like murder, robbery, things like that, it always end up being a friend, somebody close, close to you. In my instance, I think I was maybe 16 and a half, 16 going on 17 years old.
Yeah,
It was late 90s, Mardi Gras time.
right.
Mardi Gras time. Me and a friend, we was getting ready to go walk back uptown. And as we walking, she saw somebody she knew, and she was like, "Oh well, we're gonna get a ride with him." Now, mind you, I know not to get in cars with strangers. My
Yes.
mom always taught me never to
Don't
get
get in
in a
no
car
car
with a
with no
stranger.
fucking strangers.
Yes, but since she was my so-called best friend, she claimed that, "Oh, I know him. That's my dude. I've been on him. He gonna bring us uptown." So she
Right.
made up a game to play. And the game was, oh, she said, "I want to drive." She asked him, "I want to drive." I was like, "Girl, I'm not standing in the car with you as you drive. You don't know how to drive." And I knew she didn't know how to drive, but apparently she learned from somewhere because she was driving. I got out the car. She drove around the block, came back. Okay. So when she came back, she was like, "You won't try? You won't try?" I said, "Girl, I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive." But then I said, "Yeah, I'm going to try." So as I'm turning the corner, I knew I couldn't drive. So I pulled over. The guy said, "Oh, I'm a drive you back around the block to pick up your friend." Why he rode off with me?
Right.
I couldn't get out the car. I was pulling on the door. He had some type of lock on it back in the day. You could not get out this car.
Nah, that
Okay.
was a child lock.
Well, the child lock. Yes, I
It's a
definitely know
fucking
about
child
them.
lock.
Yes, and we ended up in the back of City Park. Water, a bunch of a big grassy area. Okay, so he telling me that he always loved me. He would follow me. He would talk to my sister to try to get more information about me. He claimed he went on a date with my sister, but my sister denied that.
Which
So
one?
my big sister.
Oh, the big six. All right.
Yes. So he telling me all these things about myself, like he really know me, how he loved me, how he been wanting to be with me. And so I started to get nervous. I was like, well, just take me home, just take me home, I'm ready to go home. Why this man come out with a gun bigger than you and me?
Wow.
So in my mind, once I seen a gun, I'm trying to calm him down now. So
Yes.
now I'm
Yes.
not pulling on the door, I'm not acting hysterical. I have my thinking cap on. I tell him, well, this this how you want me to go on a date with you? You could have just asked me out on a date. Why you didn't just ask me out on a date? Apparently he said he did before try to ask me out on a date, and I ignored him and walked past him.
Yeah, you can
Which
get
I
like
was
that though.
known
Yeah, you can get like that.
back
Yeah.
then. Back then I did
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
used to
But
walk past people. That's before I knew a person could hurt you if they feel some type of way. Now I stop
that's
and
you think
talk.
that's a bad thing to do that?
It is a bad thing.
But no, in my opinion, if you basically if you walk past a dude and you
Yeah.
if you walking past a dude and you have an old man already, you showing your old man respect and he not even there to defend you.
But baby, these days
Nah,
These
but you
days
you
they
you really
don't.
showing your man respect why he not there by
Right.
ignoring that individual.
But these days they don't. They'll shoot you. They don't want to be told no, and you never know if a person on drugs or whatnot. So you
Never know.
always be nice to them, and then you don't have to call that person. You don't have to answer for them or whatever. They request is at least you live another day to walk away. But back in the day, I haven't learned. I didn't learn that lesson yet. That's another story for another day. But mind you, I'm in a car now. I'm telling him, oh well, we could go on a date. You know, he kissing my face, rubbing my hair, rubbing on me. And I'm telling him, well, we could just go on a date
Right.
tomorrow. Me and you could go on a date.
He kissed you on the lips.
No, he was kissing my face and rubbing my hair.
I
He
think
was
that was
kissing
some
my
Chrissy.
face
That
and
was
rubbing my hair.
some
Yeah, he
some
did
creepy
end up,
shit. Huh?
but he did end up kissing me on the lips. So he did. He did.
Some creepy shit. Huh?
It was very scary. Mind you,
Yeah.
it's nighttime, dark,
Yeah.
grass, water,
Pistol.
and a gun bigger than you and me. A gun bigger than you and me. So
Basically, you don't know if
I'm
this motherfucker a serial
terrified.
kid. Of course.
Yes, I'm terrified because then I said, well, my friend, this is what I told him. I say, my friend knew that I was in a car with you. He told me, your friend don't care about you. Your friend don't even know my real name. And I've been knowing your friend. How you think you get in a car? That's what he told me. I said, my friend would
Oh.
never, I said, my friend would never ever do this to me.
But in your
I said,
first,
I don't know what you did with my friend, but I thought he did something, had somebody else pick my friend up. So I thought she was in a call. I'm thinking in my mind, not that she set me up, but that maybe something happened to her.
but like in the beginning of your story, you said that he been following you and shit like that, and then he
Yes,
turned it
he
down. You don't think this bitch laid up there and gave information on you about to this nigga?
looking back, I believe so. Looking back, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
cause you
tell you
gotta
why.
yeah, it's obvious that this
Yeah,
bitch
but
gave
me and this girl
information
was
on
thick
you.
as thieves. Like we wherever she went, I went. Wherever she was at, I was at. Like we had goals and aspirations to be a singer. We used to sing at that firehouse, not too far from my daddy house, the studio. We
Right.
used to go there. We used to sing. We did literally everything together. Never in a million years would I would have thought that she would do something like this. I thought why I'm in a car, my mind thinking, oh, he got somebody else to get my friend, to stole my friend too.
Right.
You see? So I'm telling him all these things, and he telling me, he told me that he was talking to my sister, and he would ask my sister everything about me, but maybe because my sister denies this. So maybe he was asking her, and that's how he found
Hmm.
out all these things about me. But I did. He would go around my school, watch me walk to the bus stop. He told me all these things. He'll watch me walk to the bus stop, and he'll just be watching me. He know where I work. He been to my job before. Later, he been to the job that I
Right.
work. He would come in there, eat, and leave. But
So
I didn't
so
put his face together
to
with that
make a
hat
long
he had
story
on.
short, before you give us a soap opera on this nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Uh, you probably was getting set up by your friend.
Right.
You know,
And I could have been killed that
yeah, you
night.
could have been killed
I
that night
convinced him,
because
and this the thing. When he got ready to take me home, this I know he knew where I live. I didn't give him my
he took
address.
you home.
He took me home. He
Fuck.
took me to my house.
So
And you
what
know
was
my
the
mama
sense in?
called the police.
So what the sense him pointing a gun at you and he took you
He
home?
was gonna rape me.
I know that, but what was the sense him taking you home? And
After, because he thought the next day, he thought
clown
that I
motherfucker.
was gonna go out on a date with him, and that I had done told him. I don't remember my words verbatim because it was so long ago, but I told him that I was gonna be with him. Basically telling him, yeah, I wanted to be with him. We could have went out on a date.
Yeah, you
I'm
telling
open to go
convincing,
out.
yeah, to convince him
Anything
to
to get
stop,
up out
yeah,
that, yeah,
that
anything to
situation,
get up
yeah, but
out that car
period,
while you
yeah,
a
but
stranger to
anyway,
me. But I went home. I ran up them steps. I went and cried to my mom. I told my mama. Now, mind you, my mama, she called the police, but no one else believed me. But
yeah,
my mama gave me the benefit of the doubt because she called the police, and I had talked to a detective.
Yeah, but like I said, to make a long story short, before you give us a
Hmm.
a roots movie on this shit, what was the friend? What did you do with the friend after all that? Because basically, that's what I want to know. What
Yes.
happened with the friend? Because if you thinking that's a setup, or she was giving information out on you and all that, basically she was setting you up. What happened to the friend?
The friend made like she didn't know what the police had questioned her. So she made like she didn't know what was going on. But I didn't find out where she had went. She said she had went to a card game. But mind you, I was young and naive. I wasn't used to no street life. She was more street than me,
Just like
even though I lived in a project. But I didn't know, half of the things that I know now. I still was hanging with her for a while
but you didn't. All right.
after that
After that,
happened.
but you didn't catch on right then and there. If he told you something about this bitch, you
I
didn't
didn't
just
know
catch
if he
on right
was
there.
lying or telling the truth. I asked her. I didn't think that she would sit me up, but until the detectives told me that when they talked to her, she said she didn't know the man.
All right. So all right. All right. So we
So
going.
once
All
she
right.
said once,
All right. All right.
well,
Hold up. All right. All right.
that was months later, though.
All right. All right. And you still was hanging with the bitch.
Yeah,
All right.
until months
So all
later.
right. So evidently she had to do something even more dramatic than that for you to live there and just brush her off or cut her completely off. Because you still see you was hanging with this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Even though
After,
after the fact. So what made her do something real dirty for you to just really stop fucking with her?
well, when my mama told me that, she said she didn't know the man at all, and I knew she knew the man. That was the thing. But she told the detective she didn't know nothing about the man. She didn't know the man at all.
So you confronted her?
Yeah, I confronted her.
Did you
And
smack the
she
bitch?
still, I didn't.
Because
I
back in
didn't.
your days, you know what I'm saying, the bitch would have got pinched, smacked, cut, punched.
Oh, man. No, I didn't. Because in my mind you, I looked at her as like a sister. I looked at her like a sister. So that would be my reason not to click out until later, months later, when I asked my mom, I said, Mama, did they catch the guy? Because I still was scared because mind you, the guy still was coming around my school.
Right.
Still coming around my school. I would see him and I would start running the other way.
Let me
And
ask
I
you this.
go tell my mama and she'll call the people
Let me
back
ask
and
you
say the
this.
man was
Let
around
me
my
ask you
school.
this. Uh, you carried a weapon on you?
No. Mm-mm.
Even though you see this motherfucker coming around the school, pedophile motherfucker at that,
Right, he
going
was
after a
older than
16
me.
year old. Did you,
Hmm.
what makes you then carry no weapon? Because in those
I
days, in your time, because I mean, you the same age, you
Right,
know,
people would, yeah, but I never carried a weapon.
girls carried knives or razors, and us carry guns.
Right, no, I didn't carry a weapon. I told my mama I was intending for him to go to jail.
But that's just like
That was it.
but
But
the moral of the story is that
yeah, that's not the whole story. I left bits and pieces, out to
yeah,
try to shorten it up. But the moral of the story is months later, I found out the detective said that she did not know the man. You see,
but the whole time she knew him.
but the whole time she did know him because she told me as when we was getting in the car that she knew him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like this, when he said that he knew her, and I don't want to get into this shit
Yeah,
like
he
no further.
said that's
He
what
knew
he
her,
told
but
me.
why
I
you
thought
never
he was
question her?
lying.
Why you never question her or try to like make her angry just to be like, damn girl, I wouldn't like, cause you know if you really didn't play with me like that, a motherfucker gonna be beg and plead. Like I didn't do this to you. I ain't do this to
Yeah,
you. I ain't do this
months
to you.
later, that's how the fallout came. Because months later, I did confront her and asked her, like you told them people that you didn't know the dude, so you had to know him. And
Right,
she was swear up and down that she didn't tell the police that she told the police she was calling him by his nickname, and the only thing that she knew was his nickname. And she said she didn't know that he would run off with me and
right,
take
right.
and and
Well,
and take me.
in my scenario is like I thought I had a friend.
Right.
We kind of like cool now,
Hmm.
but I thought I had a friend, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, when I got shot, I'm looking for this dude to help me,
Right.
not, like, get the fuck on me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, and I'm going to keep it real. Put the camera on me. Put the camera on me. You know, around this time, put the camera on me. I'm going to keep it real. Like, and I ain't going to get into all the detail, like, when I was getting set up,
Right.
that go to show you right there, like, you can be cool with somebody, but if we ain't grew up yet high, I can't really consider you my friend. I'm gonna consider you as my associate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like it down here in New Orleans, real friends call each other brothers,
Right.
and associates we call them partners. You know, like me and Zoe.
Right.
Me and Zoe beyond the partnership now.
Right.
We like brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like his mama is my mama, and my mama is his mama.
Right.
That's how far it went. You know what I'm saying? Like Red, Benji, City, you know, like a few people. But anyway, it's like when I was getting shot, he was gone. And he had the chance to help me.
And he didn't help.
Yeah, so I was so mad at this motherfucker. So I went and told motherfuckers that he set me up. I told him that and then like with my mouthpiece and my cockiness, I convinced people to believe it. With my cockiness and my mouthpiece, again, I had people convinced, like, man, this motherfucker set me up. I said, don't you know this motherfucker ran when the nigga was shooting me?
Right.
You know? But the whole time, you know, like, I was really mad because you ran.
Right.
You don't run out and I'm like, man, like, me and this nigga in a gun battle, wrestling for the gun. If we wrestling for the gun,
he was supposed to help you.
Yeah, man, knock this motherfucker out.
Right, do something.
Don't lay up there and when the gun go up, ow, ah, pew, run out the car.
Right.
For the dude to just constantly shoot me.
Right.
That's what I lay up there and get like, cause like.
But wait, oh, okay, go ahead.
You
Continue.
know,
I thought
that's why I like I get like that friendship and that partner shit is way different. That's how I took it because like my brother, like who I just called Zoe.
Right.
6 months. 6 months. He was home from jail. 6 months he was home from jail. That's when I was like, I think me and you just started dating. You know, like how we had these like long all night conversations when we get off of work and all that.
On the phone, falling asleep.
We just started dating, like, you know.
Oh, I claimed him as my man before he was my man.
And I claimed her as my old lady, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, straight up, y'all. Straight up, I claimed her. And she said she claimed me. See, that's go to chemistry right there. You know, but like, Zoe was only home 6 months.
Right.
And I had an altercation with a guy. And by me having an altercation with a guy, they had other people out there, my partners.
Right.
You know, friends, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But my thing is, he put his life on the line. He only been out 6 months. And put his life on the line for me. Right. Because this nigga up on top of me. He could have did me anything. He could have bashed my feet, broke my nose, whatever.
Right.
That motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, mister. You know, I'm going to call any names. You know, Mr. Sink the shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, Mr. Seen grabbed him. Zoe seen him, punched him.
That was your real friend.
You know what I'm saying?
Step in and help you. Yes.
Yeah, like, get this nigga off me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That was two different scenarios.
Right.
You know? That's what you call putting your life on the line because, you know, shit happens every day. You know? Shit happens every day. You know what I'm saying? In the blink of an eye. And I'm trying to lay up there and give you a scenario how one person ran and one person didn't.
Right.
And this dude, like, just came home from jail. Strict, I'm talking about strict parole. Like, he don't supposed to be getting it. Nothing, man. If he fought wrong, he back in that place.
Right.
He said, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga got my brother on the ground.
That's a real friend.
Yeah, so once he punched the motherfucker, man, and he didn't say, man, get off him.
Right.
He didn't say none of that. He said, man, get off my fucking brother.
Right.
And guess who was out there with the dude? One of my cousins.
Right.
One of my cousins was out there, you know what I'm saying, with the dude, but my cousin didn't know that the dude had issues with me. So
Right.
basically, he set my cousin up to come around there with
Right.
him like a shield.
Right.
So as he Zoe punched him and shit, like the dude trying to, my cousin, he trying to break it up.
Right.
So soon as my cousin trying to break it up, Zoe grabbed him. Say, man, get the
Right.
fuck, man, don't fucking touch him. Don't you
That's
ever touch
how
him.
our friends supposed to
And
do.
nigga say, wait, hold up, man. Mojo, my cousin. You say, man, I don't give a fuck if that was your motherfucking brother. Don't touch him like I told you. You did?
Right.
Don't fucking touch
There you
him.
go.
You did? He say,
That's
you know,
what friends do.
yeah, he say, man, I know that's your cousin. He told him straight up. Zoe told him straight up. I
See
know
how
you
Zoe
did.
stepped in? That's
Yeah.
what I feel like my friend should have did that night. Like when you see Nine come back,
Right.
you should have called the police. But
Exactly.
let me tell you this though.
Exactly.
Years later, reality hit me even harder because I was working a job I ain't seen her in years. I went across the street to go to the trolley stop to get something to eat,
On
right?
St. Charles?
On St. Charles.
Shout out to the trolley stop, because on the trolley stop, they had some good ass food. Yeah.
Breakfast was
Yeah,
rolling.
breakfast was
yes.
rolling, man. Anyway, though.
And I ran into her, right?
Right.
And when I ran into her, guess what she told? I said, well, where you going? She was dressed up. Why she told me she was going to the man funeral?
He died?
I'm assuming, or was she saying that for to play with my head?
But still, she still gave you a clue
Because
that she knew
she
this
knew.
mother.
So she wanted me to know at that moment. She wanted me to know that she knew because years had passed by and I still didn't want to believe in my mind that she set me up. But that moment in time, right there, because mind you, I done been through a surgery, so part of my memory is joggy.
Right.
And I remember the bits and pieces, but it was so traumatic in my life that I remember that happened to me.
Right.
So when she told me that, that's when I knew that she knew the whole time.
Let me ask you this.
And that hurt me to my heart, though.
Let me
That hurt me to my heart.
Let me ask you this. And this happened to the best of us. This
Right.
happened to the best of us. And this happened to me too. It takes you a while. Because the clues is right in front of you.
Yeah, they had several.
It takes
I say several clues
Right.
that I could have paid attention to, like thinking back. Even it was one of her friends, well, her cousin. It was her cousin.
Right.
It was her cousin and another girl who was her friend. And one day we had went by their house, and that girl had told me. She said, I don't know how you could go everywhere with her. You better watch her.
Yeah, but see, that's the
That's
thing.
what she told me, and I was like, "Why?" She said, I better watch my friend."
Yeah, but that's the thing. By you, young, naive, defending her, not knowing, but the clues be in your face. But it takes the last minute till we stop fucking with that person to know it. And that's what I'm trying to ask you. The question here. This was my question before you cut me off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You cutting your fucking husband off.
I'm sorry. Baby.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But anyway, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? You did that shit
Love
like
that.
on
Yeah.
Face Off.
Been
was off the
doing
money.
it since we met.
Yeah, but
That's my favorite movie. One of them.
the question I asked you was like, you don't think the bitch was jealous of you? Because we always find that out at the last minute when we really get into it with the so-called friend that we cool with. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you this.
Oh, they had a lot of clues.
When
that
you
I
have-
paid attention.
And this don't go for every friendship.
Right.
This don't go for every friendship. Because me and my brother, T.D., we have disagreements all the time.
Baby, I done seen y'all in action.
Yeah. But like,
But y'all love each other. Though.
exactly. Yeah, that's
I
my
love
brother.
all your friends.
And then like me and him been together since we was 13, because I'm a year older than him. He was 12 and I was 13 when me and him. And no, come to think of it, I was 12 and he was 11. But like, that's how he been.
But I must say about your group of friends, y'all come together and have a meeting like on the phone and go to the round table. Which is funny to me.
Yeah, but you gotta have basically like old memories that we talk about, like the past that you can't get out your head. But like I said, like with my partner is like, and I have different personal relationships with all my brothers. It's
Right.
like with T, it's like I said before in the beginning of the podcast, it's like the observation of a person. You know, I've been observed him years ago when we was young,
Right. Yeah,
and that's
well,
how he
yeah.
is. And by me saying that's how he is, that's how I am.
Right.
I can do some fucked up shit.
Right.
He gonna get mad,
Right.
but he ain't gonna lay up there and stop fucking saying fuck him. I ain't gonna fuck with him no more because like I ain't gonna do no fucked up shit to make it bad. Like I ain't gonna fuck with this nigga no more because I think it's like with me and my partner, it gets to me and him have probably a fallout because uh me not communicating like he communicate. Cause like
Right.
him, he love hard. You did like
Right.
he love hard. Like no homo and all that. Like it's like he'll call you
Right.
and he expect you to call him back. You know, an eye for an eye. You
Right.
know, but if you on some fuck shit and he don't want to be bothered, you know, it's like it's
Mhm.
different. You know, but like with Zoe,
Right.
it's like ain't no I don't want to be bothered. When I don't want to be bothered, bam, I got to get up because Mo called me. You know what I'm saying? Damn,
Mhm.
something got to be. You know, it ain't like uh man, what the fuck this nigga want? You know,
Right.
shit like you know.
Yep. I wish I had a. I don't know.
But at the
I have friends and my sisters
yeah,
and family.
but the circle that I have, like with those dudes there, we've been knowing each other like 30 plus. You know, because or maybe almost 40 because we've been knowing each other for a long time, like since we was young. You know, and I don't see the jealousy and the envy in that. I see the jealousy and the envy on the motherfuckers that I just met. You know,
Right.
it's cool
Mhm.
to let a person in your circle. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no circle, you ain't got no doors to open nothing.
Right.
You gotta have a door to open something on whatever you have, a circle, a square, a triangle, and all that. Whatever you
Yes,
in, you
but
gotta have
you
a door to get out.
yeah, but you gotta make sure your friends have the same mindset as you, because if they don't have the same mindset as you,
I disagree.
they could cause you your future. You never let a person that's not on the same level as you
I disagree.
into your circle.
That just like I disagree.
Why?
Um, we have a podcast, right?
Right.
Now, um, some of our friends probably have like
And I'm talking about mindset. I'm not talking about money, material things. No,
again,
I'm talking strictly mindset.
see, but the mindset gonna come with the material things because that's all we be talked about. I'm not just saying like material things, but that was gonna be brought up. I'm just saying the mind frame of like
Yes.
of I understand you not saying like well the
But
positivity of like well I'm trying to go a straight route and he's saying yeah more I'm trying to go a straight route, but it's gonna always be different routes. We could just say like this, like one of my partners,
mhm,
they offered him $50,000 for a job, set salary, right?
right.
That is a good amount of money for somebody that don't need that. Because I don't think you're making $50,000 out here in these fucking streets.
Right.
So
Right.
you making $50,000. What makes you want to live there and do that and hustle? Because you know I got one partner with that dumb shit. Why if you got this hell of a job and you left New Orleans? Because that's one thing about it. If you leave New Orleans, you making either you want it like Antoine Massey, Derrick Rose, or you making a better life for yourself.
Right. Correct.
So if you open the doors to go leave New Orleans, I ain't expecting you to go to leave New Orleans to go to another city and go hustle. No,
Right.
that's a
That'll
dumb
make
fucking
sense.
move.
Very.
So why would you lay up there and go hustle? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying my partner doing it. I'm just trying to make an example. But
Right.
like in
Yes,
general,
because he definitely works.
you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because like if you work, you know what I'm saying? What
Hmm.
we talking about this street shit for?
Right.
What
Well,
is we talking about this? If you work, what is we talking this street shit about? You did. That's what we supposed to leave behind.
right. You want better for yourself. You don't want to
Exactly.
go backwards. You don't
So
want to go the
all
right
right,
road and then turn back
all right. Check this out.
because you're not moving as fast as you thought. Because trust me, when it click and it hit, it's time. Millionaires work towards their goal every day.
This another
But you
thing.
best to believe one morning you're gonna wake
All
up
right, check this out.
and you're gonna be exactly where you
All
want to
right,
be.
check this out. This another thing. This another thing. This another thing. Real shit. Now, back to like a job offer you 50, 60,000.
Right.
If we
Correct.
ain't, if some of us don't have a high school education and still make it,
Right.
some of us don't have a college education and still make it. But you can't tell me the average black man
Mm-hmm.
making starting off at a $50,000 or $60,000 job. You know we got to start from the bottom. So if you being offered a $50,000 to $60,000 job, what the fuck is you come talking to me about hustling? It don't make no sense to me. The reason why it don't make no sense to me, you did, because first of all, you're being stupid and greedy.
Right.
And what makes you have time for to live there and be in the streets? If because I'm like this, I never had no $60,000 job. And the average man that I know, they never had that motherfucker either. If they live there and say they did, you're lying. And if you did have a $50,000 to $60,000 job, you either had your own business. Hear me out.
That's it.
Hear me out before y'all live there and take my fucking my comment the wrong way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And have it all fucked up in your head and take it your way. The only way I see that you making $50,000 to $60,000 a year, if you have your own business, you know what I'm saying, or you have a college degree. You know what I'm saying?
True, but you could make your own business, college degree, and some jobs do like that on the job training.
Yeah, but I don't see them making on the job training again. I don't see them offering you $60,000 on the job training.
Right.
Again, the average black man that I know,
right,
is not starting off making a $50,000 or $60,000 job. Now you probably make it with the overtime that you put in, but look at the work that you had to put in to get that $60,000. So like, I'm not talking about my man shit. I had 60,000, I had 50. I'm not talking about that. Who didn't have $50,000 to $60,000? You know what I'm saying? The easy way. I'm talking about laying up there going through a 9 to 5, because I know a lot of people now. A lot of people that I know.
Right.
They surpassing the 50 and 60,000.
Right.
But they had to wait their turn.
Correct.
They had to wait their turn, and they stood there on the job. So again, if you making 50, 60,000, what the fuck is you laying up there talking me about the streets? It don't make no sense to me. You made it a way. You moved out of New Orleans. If you moved out of New Orleans, you made it a way out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got this job, so well, damn, if I'm making 50, 60 G, I ain't got to live up there and do this shit no more. Right. I can buy whatever I want. The same thing I was buying in the streets. No, I ain't got to get on this motherfucking FaceTime and flick of money like you dig. I really got it at the streets. You know what I'm saying? You dig, man? Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy to me. Straight up, you know? And that's like, you got to observe your friends. When you observe shit like that, you know what I'm saying? You dig? Now, is he really my friend? Or he trying to live there?
Of course he's your friend.
You know, I'm just saying in general. Is he really my friend? Or he's trying to live there and show me he's doing better than me? Because you ain't got to live there and do that. Show and tell is not, or it ain't what it is no more. Not when it goes to friends.
Well, maybe he just, wants you to know that he all right, he good. Like some people, you could look at it at the opposite.
No, this
way as well.
All right, check this out.
He wanna just say, hey, even though I went through this, and this, I'm still good.
Hey, all right.
But
all right, hold up. No, hold up. Not to cut you off, because I say like I don't cut my wife off. Again, like you say, hear what you're saying.
Right.
You are saying, I just want to let you know I'm good. I can understand if you're good. You ain't got to show me that, you know what I'm saying, that you're good and doing all that, because sometimes I think friends don't have to do that. I already know who this person is.
Right.
I know who this person is.
That's
I know his capabilities. I know what he about.
Right.
So you ain't got to show me this, and this, like you laying up there, Mr. fucking Scarface. If you feeling like you Mr. Scarface out there, you did, and doing all this, you're really playing on yourself.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you one thing about the streets. I'm going to tell you one thing about the streets and the working man. It takes one day for your fucking empire to crumble. While the working man still going to get these consistent checks.
Right.
So I'd rather live there and get the working man money. If I get started with $50,000, I'm in bed right now. Getting ready to live there and wake up for tomorrow to get mine.
Right.
And I ain't got to worry about seeing the streets no more and all that, because I know some way And somehow I got a chance to put up a little money
Towards your goal, what you want
towards
to
my
do.
goals, you did, because my goals probably don't be in no 1 year. It probably be a 10-year plan. Especially with me having
A
a wife,
5-year
you
plan.
did. Not no, I'm just saying though. It could be a
Right.
5 year, a 10 year, or 15. Now just say if I was single and I'm like, my goal in a 15-year plan is that I want to be able to be settled down in my house and almost ready for retirement. That's what the working man think.
Right.
All right, you think a street nigga and the working man gonna think like that? You know what I'm saying? You gotta choose one. All right, I want to live there and do my thing in these streets for 15 years and then I'm gonna retire. Fucking no, it don't work like that. So why is you telling me this? Why is you showing me this?
Right. I don't think he was showing you for harm, but you know, you could look at it two ways. Either he wanted you to know something or perceive something and we don't know why. But that's a subject for you to ask him why.
I ain't gotta ask a motherfucking why. You know why? The reason why I gotta ask a person why? Because at the same time, I already know what's going on.
Right.
I'm not blind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ever see me going on with my friends freeze time? I'm doing that. No, fuck no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna
Cause
live
you
there and look at
talking
my
to him.
credibility. They're gonna look at my credibilities of the podcast and call me and congratulate the podcast. You know what I'm saying? They're
Right.
not looking at, well, damn. Look at the street. Nah, man, they looking beyond that. Oh, he ain't in the streets no more.
Right.
So if I lay up there and FaceTime somebody with that focus right there, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck I gotta have a conversation about somebody about the streets? And it's not benefiting us at all. That's why I gotta lay up there and talk about with these friends, you know what I'm saying? You did, because your friends gonna either pull you in or pull you out.
Right.
Because one of my friends told me one day, you dig it, like it's like about it's a minute ago. It was like uh when I first started working at the Palace Cafe. He already knew what was going on with me, right? He
Right.
asked me one question.
Mhm.
Man, when you gonna get out these fucking streets and remain at that job?
Mhm. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because guess what he was tired of doing? He was tired of seeing me fuck over myself.
Right.
You
That's a
know?
friend. A friend gonna always tell you the right thing to do
Exactly.
and the right way to go. The last thing that I gotta say about friends is just if you see the signs, don't wait till it's too late. So many people wait till it's too late. Like the girl who got killed on a trip. She saw the signs. You was always fussing with them. They didn't like you, but yet you still went on a trip with them.
Again,
Once you see the signs, you got to get out. Now,
again, but
as for
that was
me,
a competition thing. And see, that's another thing about that. Friends, they won't
don't
compete with
they?
each other.
They don't.
But at the same time, that's really not your friend. Because I'm gonna tell you this,
If
honey.
I got it, definitely my friend. My friend.
I'm gonna tell you this. I have to walk outside and experience competition every day when it comes to me. I'm gonna keep it real.
Right.
About what I wear, about who I like, or I got to experience competition. One dude came up to me and look what he tell me one day. Man, Mo, you ain't the only one with a baddie with a foreign car. I'm like, son, you do you. What the fuck you mean? I ain't the only one with a baddie in a foreign car. All right, you think my wife is a baddie? Well, she is, and she got a foreign car. Well, she does. So, all right, what we competing for? None of us not about to get a fucking trophy.
Right.
So I always see these signs, and all these signs go in one bucket to me: the hating bucket, the envy bucket.
Right. And he didn't try to tell you in a like a complimenting way. He just walked up to you.
You ain't got to do that. All right, that's just like
Because some people, now granted, some people say stuff and they mean it in a compliment way, but they, like dudes, it's kind of like
you can
mixed
tell though.
right?
You can
You could
tell in
tell,
you can tell
right,
in their voice. All right, just like again, um, Titi.
right,
Shout out to my dude Titi.
right,
I complimented on him on his new the way he changed his life and who he deal with and all that. I complimented like, man, my dude.
right,
I'm not looking at your girl, but you have a beautiful ass old lady.
right.
And guess what he said? Thank you, Mo.
Right.
You
That's
know what I'm
how
saying?
friends supposed
Yeah,
to
you
do.
know what I'm
Supposed to
saying? And
congratulate
he
each other and
and he
encourage
didn't
each
just say
other to
like
do
thank you more
better.
and all that. He was like, she nice looking more. I'm like, you fucking right. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It ain't like
She is very beautiful.
yes, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to
Very.
Mo, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like, he was like, she nice? You think I'm like, you fucking right. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna venture off to something else and deep into our friendship. Now I'm about to lay up there and compliment him and him back on look on seeing the happiness that he got inside him now. Instead of him being stressed out, depressed, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That shit over with. On
Right.
some, you know what I'm saying? So when I laid up there and told him that he got a beautiful old lady, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't on no competition thing with him or his girlfriend and you.
Right.
Hell
You
no.
could compliment each other.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
But
So
this,
true
yeah,
friends gonna want
yeah.
better
But this
and
motherfucker come up to me.
compliment each
But
other.
this other dude, I don't even know this dude. Like I knew his name, you did, but fuck him, you did. But like this other dude come up to me and say, yeah, like Mo, you ain't the only one with a baddie in the forum. You right, I'm not. They got plenty of people with beautiful wives and nice looking cars. Plenty of people. So, but
Right.
why is you laying up there trying to compete with me?
Right.
And that's like this say like if
That's
I
just people being,
yeah
observing. But
and
if that's
competing
not your
and
friend,
hating, you know,
let
just say
them
like this.
rub off,
This say like this. This say
roll
like
off your
this.
back. I mean,
This say like that. I knew him
right,
through his brother,
right,
so I can't. He'll probably lay up there and consider me as a partner or whatever because he know me and he from my hood.
right,
That's how he'll look
right,
at it. Because this is like if we was out of town together. This is like if we laid up there and evacuated or something. You dig? And I don't know nobody. We don't know nobody in this motherfucker. And I just happen to so cross him,
right,
and we just see each other after the hurricane, after all us evacuated. He gonna consider me as his partner because that's all he know is me out there, and that's all I know is him out there. But
right,
in actuality, in in the city down here, he gonna go his way, and I'm gonna go my way. You did.
right,
And let me tell you one thing about that word: you go your way, and I go my way. When somebody say they go their way, I'm gonna go their way, man. I don't give a fuck about you, and I don't give a fuck about what you do. And that's the same thing about what the next person feel.
right,
So always remember that. If a person say, man, I'm gonna go my way, you just go your way. Man, fuck you, and I'm going about my. I don't give a fuck about you. That's what it means.
right, right. So friends have to learn to, know when to uplift their friend. They have to know what encourage their
Right.
friend. Basically, like learning each other, like in a relationship. But true friends always gonna be your friends no matter what, and they always gonna look out for your well being. Um, with that being said, I guess we're gonna end
Yeah. Oh, let me tell
in
you.
the
Let me ask you this question: this before we go. You know what I'm saying? Before we give it to the thought of your the thought for your mind. You think that'll be a big controversy between me choosing my best man?
for the wedding.
Yes. For our renewing of the
I
vows, because we
think you
already
could,
married.
right? Yeah, I'm renewing other vows. I think you could have two.
I don't
You
want no
could do
fucking two
two.
best man. This is not Martin.
Martin.
So you got any last words, thought for your mind?
Yes, my last thoughts is be true to yourself first and foremost, always, and always be loyal to your friends. Don't be the type of friend that's only loyal to yourself, because a lot of people in the world are loyal to themselves, but live on principle.
And my thought for your mind is and y'all peep this out. Y'all peep this. Y'all figure this out. Y'all figure this. What I should call it? The proper word, figurative language. Y'all figure this metaphor out.
Mhm. I don't know what he gonna say.
All right, this is what I'm about to say. The truth have a house, and a lie have a house, or the truth have the apartment, or the lie have an apartment.
Mhm.
Whatever living conditions, like he can have a mansion, whatever. The truth can have a house, and the lie can have a house. Is you gonna either stay with the truth, or you gonna live with a lie? One of the two. Like I said before, the truth have a house, and the lie have a house. Either you gonna stay with the truth, or you gonna live with a lie. Y'all figure that one out. And that's all we got for y'all for episode 16. Tune into next time with Gipp and Glow on episode 17, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? With the green one with Gippy Lee and Glue, you know what I'm saying? And I'm your host who does the most, Gipp Star, aka Gippy, aka Mojo, aka Cocky Bell Boy, aka you can call me whatever you want, but just don't call me Collect. Say what you gotta say.
And I'm your co-host who doesn't do the most. Top 10 always. God is body. Holla.
God his body holla. Holla.
Sweep it up like a broom, the elephants in the room. Feeling like MJ, I walk it out on the moon. These boys faster than Zoom, I'm floating like a balloon. I'm from the womb to the tomb, I'm repping the green room, yeah.